Yes, sir. Now, today, we're going to talk about Rickey Smiley. Now, we already covered him in the past when the news of his son had just dropped. But now he has come out and he has actually revealed, finally, the cause of death of his son, Brandon Smiley. Now, he has done this. He has finally come out on an interview on the Today Show. You know, when he's never, been on TV before this, but now he's on TV. He's done this on March 2nd, right? And that happens to be the 33rd day of his son's death. That he happens to come out and talk about this. Son equals 33 as well in the English language in reverse. This humiliation, it's not over. This is part of the ritual. It's going on a nationally syndicated show, and you have to now talk about the sacrifice. You have to let people hear the stumble of your words. You have to let people watch how you fuck up the story and you say shit that doesn't make any sense. That's part of the ritual. It's letting people see the guilt all in your face. Now, this is also coming off 32 days, right? A span of 32 days after his son's death. And keep in mind that this interview came out on 3/2 when his son died at the age of 32, when his name Brandon equals 32 in full reduction. So, once again, they not doing nothing but just completing the ritual, right? Rickey Smiley also comes out with this information 4 weeks and 4 days after the death of his son, just like Kill and Comedian. Those kill numbers, right? Now, the cause of death, as we already knew what he was going to say, just by the numerology alone. Oh, first, the day of the year that Rickey Smiley broke this news about his son, Brandon Smiley, happens to be on the 61st day of the year, just like Brandon Smiley equals 61. Just as well as Skull and Crossbones, as his son died in the year of the Skull and Crossbones, 223. Now, Rickey Smiley says his late son, Brandon, died from an overdose after several attempts to, quote unquote, send him to rehab. See, they're already being sarcastic with you. Sure, that's what it is. Right? But we already knew just by the numerology, just by Rickey Smiley's birth name, having a number for dishonesty in it, the number 113, Broderick Darnell Smiley equals 113, just like his son's cause of death equals 113. Right? They're being dishonest with you. But without further ado, man, let's watch this interview and let's pick apart the inconsistencies in the story.
We are back with an exclusive conversation.
And peep how the interviewer, they always color code. So, of course, he has the red, white, and black on to signify to you that this was a blood ritual.
With radio host and comedian Rickey Smiley. Rickey is here this morning with a really important message.
Look at him.
For years, of course, he's been a
He
daily
look nervous as hell
for listeners of his nationally syndicated morning show. Well, today, Rickey is speaking out on television for the first time about his son, Brandon. Brandon died on January 29th, and his dad is here this morning to talk, first of all, about how he and his family are coping and about some important warnings for parents as well. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Our deepest
Appreciate
condolences.
Nice little handshake that was.
Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Our deepest
Nice little handshake that is.
condolences.
Yes, sir.
First of all, you get the call that no parent ever wants to get, that
Keep in mind how he's phrasing it, that no parent ever wants to get. He's trying to trigger the emotional response in him. But let's see what he does.
That your child has passed away.
Your child, even though he was a grown man. But come on.
I was in Dallas at my apartment getting ready to watch the playoff. His girlfriend called. She said, text Brandon at this number or call.
Text Brandon at this number. So he didn't already have his son's number. And why would the girlfriend tell him to text his number?
And so I called, nobody answered. I called her back. I said, is everything okay? She was crying. And she said that, in her words, she said that he had OD'd.
So if he had OD'd already, what was the point of her telling him to text Brandon's phone if she knew that Brandon wasn't going to answer?
And so I called, and that was around 10. There was a 12 o'clock flight leaving.
Nah, keep in mind, he's already gotten his phone call at this point.
So I just kind of grabbed my backpack and jumped on the plane.
Grabbed my backpack and jumped on the plane. So his backpack was already packed. He ain't say nothing about packing his bag after he got that phone call. That nigga said he went and grabbed the bag and hopped on the flight. Nigga, flight was already booked.
I flew to Birmingham, and I got a phone call on my way out the door from Brandon's younger sister that lives in Atlanta, Taylor, that he had passed.
So first he said that the girlfriend called him, and that's what got him out the door in the first place. That's why he grabbed his backpack, and now he's on the flight on the way to Birmingham. But now he says, after he's already out the door, now he gets another call from his sister, and that's when he finds out that Brandon passed. But he just said he found out that he passed when his girlfriend called him and told him to text Brandon when she already knew that he had passed away. None of this stuff is making sense, but people are eating this up. He's so nervous, he's not even telling the story right.
And she was crying.
Yeah,
and,
crying. Yeah.
Had there been a history of drug use that you knew about?
Yeah, he was struggling with that. We had his mother and I made several attempts to try to send him to get the help that he needed, send him to rehab. And we thought that he was doing better. He had just joined the church, had just got baptized again, probably.
See, now he's trying to gain, because he knows a lot of church women watch him. So he know that's going to trigger their emotions. Since he just can't find the emotion, he's going to try to trigger it in you. So now you don't even ask questions. Now you're feeling how sad this situation is. Like, damn, he just joined the church. Damn, he just got baptized. Man, that's crazy. So now you going off in your own mind and you're not paying attention to what he's actually telling you. The nigga didn't never put no name on the church. People that go to church love shouting out their church, especially a dude like Rickey Smiley.
A month before he passed away. And, he went in, he used. And it killed him.
Wow.
But we haven't got a toxicology report yet. So this is just what we're speculating according to his girlfriend who found him.
Yeah.
So if they don't have a toxicology report, why would that be such an assumption that you just gonna come on the news and just say, when y'all don't even know? The toxicology is testing the body for drugs. So if y'all don't know that yet, and I know, right, a smart little speculation, right? If you're already trying to create this narrative that your son was a drug addict, right? But there's many other ways he could have passed away. He could have had a stroke. He could have had a heart attack. So why just assume that it was an overdose if you didn't even get the toxicology report yet?
Unresponsive.
And the cause of death, we should point out, is pending
Yeah.
because of some additional lab studies that are needed. But you mentioned that he has had a history, and you're here this morning.
And he has had a history. So it's safe to say that Rickey Smiley's correct. That's what they're doing right now. That's the whole purpose of this interview. Is to, one, humiliate him because he just told you a story that doesn't make sense. And like I said, what is a toxicology test? A toxicology test looks for traces of drugs in your blood, urine, hair, sweat, or saliva. And they haven't done that, hasn't been complete yet. So they're already throwing it to drugs, even if he was a drug addict. You already just, where was the drug? Was it a needle next to him? Was it a, you feel me? What was it? It wasn't no drugs right next to him at the time that he OD'd. It wasn't no pills right next to him. They ain't say none of that. They just creating a story. They just creating a narrative, and they going off of that. And keep in mind, Rickey Smiley has not stopped posting to his social medias ever since this has happened. This has been nothing but generating money for him and generating views as well for his YouTube channel. He even thought to upload this very interview to his own YouTube channel so he can monetize off it even more. So what is his true motives behind this situation? But with that being said, man, y'all let me know what's going on. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Appreciate y'all for all the love. Appreciate y'all for all the support. And I'm out.